So I think one of the things that I hear people say at church all the time is that God died on the cross. So how would you think that that's an incorrect statement or a statement that needs some clarification? What is your view on that statement? God died on the cross.
So you have to be very careful what you're saying. So God died on the cross. How are you using God in that statement? Right? If you're using God to mean the entirety of God's being, in the sense that the divine nature died, of course, that's incorrect.
Absolutely.
Right? So what you mean by God died on the cross is now you're saying God the Son, not the Father, not the Spirit. God the Son died on the cross. So you can say the Son of God, who is God, died, but he died in and through his humanity, because you can't have the divine nature, God the Son and his divine nature dying, right? So this is why you have to go back to scripture in the sense that there's a real incarnation, right? The Son of God, who is the divine Son with the Father and the Spirit, assumes, or I even like the word add. People don't like that term, but I mean, there's an addition or takes on or assumption of a human nature. So there's two natures. And of course, this is where, well, the theological formulation of the church that's based upon scripture is so true. I mean, it's so important. We have two natures, right? So the Son of God, who shares with the Father and Spirit a divine nature, assumes a human nature, and he is the person or the subject of that human nature, and he dies, right? So you think of the book of Acts where Paul can say, you know, God shed his blood. The church said, you know, in terms of God's death, but of course it's God the Son in and through his humanity that died. So you have to be very careful when you say God died without that qualification. It's very misleading, because, but you can say the Son of God who assumed a humanity, the Son of God who is God, died for us, right? So his death on the cross is a divine act through a human nature, and that's why we have a divine human redeemer. But you have to have all of that in place to be true to scripture and to make theological